Hey guys, I'm Mercer and welcome to Arathi Basin on the Demonology Warlock. So, let's just jump right into commentating this. I decided to stay back at stables because every time we take stables and I leave, they always take it. Turned out to be a bad decision on my part for the pure fact that there are a lot of horde here now, including a rogue, a holy pally, a boomkin, a fire mage, and a death knight somewhere, I believe anyway. So basically, I'm not looking to really, I'm trying to kill everyone here, but at the same time, I'm just trying to keep them off the flag. At this point, I thought the Boomkin was a Resto Druid, so once I noticed, I decided to go right back on the flag. And I saw this rogue was trying to take it, so I'm gonna put the rogue to sleep because I am in Dark Apotheosis, which is the major glyph that is basically a defensive form for warlocks now. So as you can see, I'm getting attacked by the boomkin, and it's doing a whole lot of damage. But because I am in this form, it's not doing as much as it would be if I was out of this form. So I'm pretty sure the boomkin's a little frustrated with that. So I push him back there with my carrion swarm. Again, I'm going to be talking a little bit more rotation in this battleground because there is a lot of action. So right here, I'm just basically trying to survive until a little bit more of our team gets here, so we can get control back over this base. And once that happens, I'm gonna basically leave Dark Apotheosis and get in my caster form to start doing damage and building offensive Demonic Fury. So the mage is still on me. The rogue was on me. The rogue just went down there. I'm gonna use my Demonic Leap and my Carrion Swarm right after to get the mage further and further away. I see there's a Resto Shaman there. We put it to sleep, and we're just going to continue attacking the mage. And this is a pretty intense situation just because there are so many of them, and there's the holy pally and now a resto shaman. But fortunately our team gets here, we get them all down, and it worked out in our favor. So right there, a few seconds ago, I left my defensive form and I'm in my caster form building offensive Demonic Fury. And I was just warming up in this when I hadn't played Demon since my last video, I believe. So I was just warming up in this one, and it turned out pretty good. So again, we are always going to be good players and go for the healer as soon as the battle actually starts. So in Metamorphosis, I want to point something out because I've got basically a request saying how do I manage my, how do I stay in Metamorphosis rather. Sorry about that, guys, it's really late here. How do I stay in Metamorphosis pretty long? And once you switch into Meta, Soulfire and Doom costs 120 Demonic Fury. So what I did on the beta when I was testing before I brought out the MOP beta Demonology Warlock video is I just spammed Soulfire as I was in there. And as a PvP Demonology Warlock, you're going to want to spam Touch of Chaos, I believe it's called, which your Shadow Bolt turns into. And basically that's just spammable because it costs less. So if you're trying to maintain Demonic Fury and still do good damage, spam Touch of Chaos. And if you really need the burst, use your Soulfire. But Soulfire will drain your Demonic Fury very quickly. So right here, they do have the flag. We're trying to wipe them all out. And anytime my Carrion Swarm is up, I'm going to be basically trying to cast it and knock people off. And that's just how lumber mill fights go. If you have a knockback right there, I use it again. And as you can see, there's just so many of them here. And this is basically what the entire game is. It's just basically a lumber mill. And as you can see, there's a few warriors and a hunter, and I think a death knight there, and a rogue maybe that wants me dead just by looking at my debuffs right there. And for some reason, I've attracted a lot of attention in Battlegrounds. Anytime I'm on a character, I have an abnormal amount of players trying to kill me for some reason in big battles such as this one, when they really should be going for my healers. I have my healer in here and then a random healer with us in this battle, and yet I have no clue why they're trying to go for me. That's just how it is, I guess. So I noticed there's a Resto Druid over there, and I noticed it just in a minute because I'm just basically trying to get as much AoE out as I can, trying to knock everybody off. And once I realize that there's a Resto Druid over there, I actually do switch to it, and I think I get the knockoff pretty soon. So that was pretty good. But having all these guys on me was just absolutely hilarious because I wasn't the main target, and it was just pretty funny. So right here I realized there is a Resto Druid. So we are going to basically deal with this as best we can. And there's a Resto Shaman, so they have a few healers. We have a few healers. And we're just trying to do as much as we can right here. And as you can see, I just cannot get lucky enough with my Carrion Swarm. They are not close enough to the edge. So I'm just trying to do damage to everybody, stress the healers out, try and out of mana them. And the warrior just will not leave me alone here. So finally I get a demonic circle teleport, and the warrior kind of switches right to my healer, which is not the best thing I could have asked for. Getting a pretty good knockback there. Unfortunately nobody went off. So getting on the Boomkin right here, because basically the Boomkin can cast Starfall, doing a lot of AoE damage. I'm just trying to stress their healers out and just trying to out of mana them. I'm not particularly fighting one single target here. I'm trying to kill as many as I can. AoE, anything, just drop as many people around me as I can. Health, we finally get a knockoff on the Resto Shaman right there. So I'm using a Harvest Life right here just to basically try and become main target again, so they can switch off my healers to me. And for some reason, as soon as they see that green beam, they absolutely hate it. As you can see, these two warriors are back on me. And yeah, for some reason, as soon as you do that, they're just on you 24/7. And it worked like a charm there. They just completely ignore my healer once that happened. So one of my healers gets knocked off here, and it's coming back up. So we're just gonna keep on attacking these guys. The Resto Druid is feared back there, so we're gonna use this to our advantage. We did take the flag a few minutes ago. So I'm gonna get a fear again up on the Resto Druid. I saw it was a complete fear, a complete 100% full fear. And I see this warrior's trying to take it, so I'm gonna get Fell Flame out there, stop that. Get a knockback, and it just will not get knocked off for some reason. Maybe because the Torrents are heavy, I don't know. But nonetheless, we're going to clean up Lumbermill and continue on. And you're going to see me basically turn around a few times here. I'm basically watching to see if any healers are coming up so I can catch them in a fear as soon as they arrive, so they don't have any opportunity to heal their teammates up here. So using Soulfire out of any demon form basically generates Demonic Fury and does a substantial amount of damage, not as much as in demon form. So using Touch of Chaos, I get that hunter down pretty quickly. And using Soulfire Burst on the Boomkin, getting the guys off the flag with my Carrion Swarm. Stunning the warrior with my Shadow Fury. And again right here, I'm just looking behind me to see if any healers are coming. And getting a Demonic Circle teleport away from the Heroic Leap. And again, looking behind me, making sure no healers are coming up. It would really be terrible if a healer came up and saved these two warriors. All a warrior needs to survive is a healer, and what I mean by that is it doesn't have to rely on mana, it doesn't have to rely on maintaining a good ratio of energy. It could just beat you down and beat you down and beat you down until he dies, basically, and that's exactly what happened here. Alright, so we finally cleared Lumbermill. And I was left alone at Lumbermill, and I got Zerg, so I died once right there. Just decided to cut it. And again, we realize there's a Resto Druid, and just barely gets almost knocked off there. Oh, it is such a killer to see that it doesn't get knocked off. But I don't think the particular player has a trinket, so I'm going to use that to my advantage. We have another Warlock on it using Harvest Life. Getting a Shadow Fury up, controlling the healer. It does trinket there, but we do catch it in another fear. And as soon as the Wrathguard comes in, we get our Wrathstorm up. And right here, it doesn't get knocked off, but it actually strafes off, which was pretty funny. So we in the end get what we want. No more healer, and we just gotta deal with the death and the fire mage. So I decide to fear the mage. It does ice block that. I'm not 100% quite sure why it would ice block that. It was being attacked by one of my teammates. It could have waited for the damage to break the fear. So we're going to just focus on the Death Knight for a little bit. And again, checking behind us, seeing if the healer is coming up. We have to catch an immediate Shadow Fury fear. Just to make sure none of these enemies get heals. That would be terrible at this point. And a Resto Druid can really change the tide of the battle. So the video is almost coming to an end. It was a pretty intense one. One thing I do want to ask you guys, and I know I had a lot of requests for specs that my main characters are not right now. And if you guys watch my other videos, I have major OCD. So I'm wondering, would you guys want to see 85? Like, I had a request for Resto Druid and Holy Pally. However, my Boomkin on my main realm, which is Guardian and Boomkin, is not geared for Resto. And my main Paladin, my 85 Paladin, is not geared for Holy. So I'm wondering, I do have alts that are Resto and that are Feral, and basically any spec I don't have on my main realm, I have it on my off realm. And I do level my off realm quite a bit, if you guys watch that video. And I was just wondering, would you guys want to see level 70 to 80 gameplay of those specs that I don't have on my main realm? Because I would absolutely love that. And I play them anyway. I could definitely just record it. But if I don't hear any feedback from you guys on this video, I will basically just make one and see what you guys think of it and just go from there. But I would absolutely love to make those videos because I just have so much fun playing my off realm. And I mean, it's a horde realm. I know there's a lot of horde players out there. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. I would very much appreciate your feedback on this. So going back to the gameplay, again almost knocking that Tauren warrior off. But he lands on his hoofs and gets caught in a full fear. And getting his spell reflect up. Anytime you see that white shield above an enemy, what you can do as a warlock, as any spec of warlock, because you definitely don't want to reflect an unstable affliction or a powerful spell, a crit soulfire on yourself, just use Fell Flame. Doesn't do that much damage, and it's just safer that way. So there you go, 4 million damage, something like that. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed running it. Thank you guys very much, and as always, happy hunting.